I just want to speak to you very, very briefly this morning about what FCA means to me. And it's a big part of my life, a huge part of my life. There's a change in my life from FCA back in 1976. It made a difference in my life. And if I had any Bible scripture that I would refer to, it would be Saul being transformed to Paul. The road to Damascus had a man who persecuted the church, now writing over 3/4 of the New Testament. There was a manifestation with an experience with God that changed him from being Saul to Paul. And my life is very, very similar to that. We grew up in the church. Like Doc said, there were 7 of us. There were 6 boys, 1 girl. And my mom and my dad, we went to church very regularly. If you wanted to really categorize it, we were very religious. I was very religious. Baptized at a very, very young age. Thought I knew what it was to be a Christian. Thought I knew what it was to go to church. Thought I knew exactly what it meant to follow and love Jesus Christ. But throughout all my childhood, through my elementary, through junior high school, through high school, all I was religion. I'm here to encourage you, but I'm also here to challenge you. Because as I travel around the country speaking, the thing that I see the most in churches, that the church house are full of people that are religious. And there's a major difference between religious people and having a personal relationship with Christ. Back in 1976, I came to UCA at 75. As Dr. Teague said, had a decent year that year, played cornerback. But in 1976, a brother by the name of George Jones, who was also on the football team, the ones that are here this morning, they probably recognize that name, George Jones. George and some of the other guys, and I forget the coach's name, but up on the 3rd floor of our dorm, they would have FCA on one of the weeknights, and I forget what weeknight it was. But George would always invite me to come to FCA. I felt like I didn't need to go to FCA. I had my, quote, relationship with Christ. I had been brought up in the church. But one day, George being persistent, he asked me, and I consented. And I went with George that day to FCA, or that evening, not knowing that my life would change for the rest of my life. Not knowing that the message that the coach would speak would be the message that I needed to hear. Not knowing that there was something wrong in my life with my relationship. And basically what he told us was, God has designed a personal relationship with us, with each and every one of us. And throughout that evening, I found myself weeping on my knees, accepting Jesus Christ as my personal. Now, you got to understand now, I told you a minute ago, I was baptized when I was small. But I didn't find Jesus for that relationship until 1976 through a huddle called Fellowship of Christian Athletes.